Alright, what's up guys? It's Justin here. This video is going to be going over like three things that I think you should know when you're learning to build. If you read them right here, you'll get a brief overview of the video. Um, I'll go into more detail of that right now. So, the first thing is practice. That's just the number one thing. Everyone's going to tell you all you have to do is practice. Now, I don't agree that that's the only thing that you should do, but practice is a major part of becoming a good builder. Now, the way I practiced was I went on Google Images and I just looked up stuff that I wanted to build and I would copy it. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, I don't know. I don't know about how I feel about copying, right? Because you're plagiarizing. Well, you're pretty much building, you're not building for a game when you're just learning how to build. So, when you build something that you're copying, just get over it. You're gonna be copying things to start to build because that's just how the process goes, right? You're not gonna be able to know or have the creativity to build something when you don't even know how to use the tools initially. That's like trying to write your own piano song, right? And you don't even know how to play the piano. So you're really going to want to start out copying something. That's why everyone, when you're learning piano, again, I'll just use this metaphor. But when you're learning to play the piano, you play other people's songs. Now, that's how you're gonna be able to. That's how you're gonna learn how to build. So things you can do. Okay. Something though about copying though, I would not copy like exact games. I wouldn't go into a game and just copy that build. I would go on concept art on Google Images or I don't know, modern houses, anything like that, and build whatever you find cool. If you want to specialize in weapons, obviously just go into weapons and add concept after it. You'll find a bunch of images and you'll learn how to build that. Um, if you want to go into houses, you can go modern house. You can go to modern apartments. Build any of these if you want to do interiors. Um, Again, Google Images is going to be your best friend when you're building. Uh, that's just my number one tip. Again, when you're practicing, you just want to keep going until you finish like exactly what it looks like. Like for this, initially when you're starting out, you're not going to be able to. If you really want to try it and challenge yourself, you can try to picture what's on the side here or maybe behind this camera. But if you really just want to start out, just build exactly what's in this image. And try to build it in the perspective of a Roblox character. Don't build everything too big and your character is like the size of this like table right here. Um, so yeah, that's how you're gonna want to start out. Practice just over and over again. It took me a couple months before I was able to get like pretty good at building. Um, Now a couple months doesn't like a lot of really good builders will tell you a couple months isn't what it takes. It takes years. But for me, I mean, you can just go to my Twitter and just look at what I've built. I wouldn't say I'm the best builder, but I would say I'm pretty good, and it didn't take that long to learn how to build like this. This is just a simple style, uh, but there's some detailed things that I can show you later that I've built. If you really want to, you can just PM me. Paper Kite Studios is my Roblox username, and I'll show you the stuff I made before. But yeah, it doesn't take that long. It still takes time to master things, but it doesn't take years and years to learn how to build. It really only takes maybe a week or two max to learn the actual plugins and the tools that you're using and to actually get the hotkeys down and stuff. Maybe 3 weeks, and then after that, you're literally just building. So once you know how to use the tools, building's pretty easy, especially if you're using concept art and kind of basing your builds off concept art. Uh, then within I don't know a month or two, maybe three, you're really gonna get pretty good at building. Again, this is just if you work at it like almost every day, not for like 8 hours a day, but maybe like I don't know an hour or two at max a day, and you'll get pretty good pretty fast. You'll be surprised. Now the second tip is perseverance. So you're gonna want to keep building. When you start out, your first builds, they're just not gonna look like the quality that Diesoft builds, that Raven Shield builds, original systemized, Bism. You're not gonna get to that, that level of building right away. Uh, so when you start out, you want to actually finish your builds. Um, when you first start out a build and you kind of lay out the sort of foundation of the build, it's gonna look ugly just because there's no detail there. You can't make something look good with like 5 parts, 6 parts. So just keep going until it's finished, and I promise you, as you go along, as you make like pretty significant amounts of progress, you're gonna be impressed with yourself, and that's just gonna keep motivating you to keep going and eventually finish out the build. And once you finish, um, depending on how you are, but once you finish, I promise you that you're gonna be pretty proud of your build, even if it's your first one ever. Because I mean, a lot of people that are starting out building, they know, or yeah, most of you probably know that you're not gonna be EBR quality, right? Um, so just take that to heart and kind of work your way up. So yeah, don't give up with your builds. Scrapping a build halfway through just because it looks ugly is not going to get you anywhere, because you're going to end up just building half builds all over and over and over again, and it's just going to keep looking ugly and then ugly and then ugly. It's just going to, and then it's going to demoralize you, and you're not going to want to build. So when you start out, especially when you're starting out, you want to finish every single build that you do. Later on, you're going to realize, like when you're actually making a game, there's some designs that just won't work, but that comes from experience. So um, playing around with things is really the way to go. And by playing around with things, I mean just keep building. Don't stop building just because something doesn't look right or whatever. Uh, edit it, or move it and replace it with something, but don't scrap your whole builds, and especially in the beginning. Now, the third tip is build for yourself, okay? You don't want to build to impress anyone right off the bat, because when you're building to impress someone, then your motivations are kind of not there, because if you end up building something that's not really impressive and you're trying to show off, people are just going to call you names. They're going to tell you that you're a trash builder, and that's just going to either piss you off or demoralize you either even more. So build for your like build for you to get better. Don't build to get fame from other people, to get I mean, that's a goal for later on if you're building like a game to make, to make money. But initially, you want to build just to get to that point, to that, that advanced level of building. You're not going to start out going right for the stars, right? You want to build your way up. So again, build for yourself. Don't build to get fame from anyone. Don't build to get praise from anyone. Yeah, just build for you. Okay. I don't know how else to phrase it. I mean, I'm probably repeating myself like an old record or something, but yeah, just do that. Um, those are pretty much the three tips that I have. I guess an extra tip would be just to, find an idol, not an idol, like a sort of mentor or someone that you look up to, and you wanna build to their style. Like, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I named a few people earlier. I guess okay, if you want to go into sci-fi, that's not crazy detailed, but it's still like it's not minimalistic, but it looks pretty good. Smooth building, and it's sci-fi. You should copy Diesoft, or not copy. Don't take that. I take that back. Don't copy, but look to his builds for inspiration. If you're going into sort of not super detailed stuff, but like pretty much fantasy sort of things that are kind of around the same detail level as Diesoft, maybe a slightly more. Uh, Go look at Beism's builds. A lot of her builds are like that. Um, and if you want to go into super detailed builds with atmosphere and stuff, go look at Original Systemize, or I think that's his name. I'll put a link to all of their profiles and their Twitters if they have any in the description. But those are the three that I'm not super familiar with them. Um, but I'm pretty familiar with like their building styles and stuff. And yeah, so if you want to go into any of those, Uh, I'll probably make a video again later on, uh, showing a list of people that like in their build styles, so you can kind of find inspiration for someone that kind of fits what style you're going for. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. In future videos, probably gonna be about, I don't know, actual designing different parts of building and kind of more in detail into that stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching.